Um, if you don't mind, I normally give this talk in audiences in the US, and most of the people have heard a little bit about what I do, so I'm curious, how many people have at all heard of Kickstarter? So a few. Okay, great. That's exciting. All right. So, I am the co-founder and CEO of Kickstarter.com. We opened just short of about 3 years ago in April 2009, and our goal was to solve this problem, that most ideas cannot get funding. This is a problem that I myself had 7 years before the company launched. In 2002, I was living in New Orleans in the South of the United States, and I wanted to throw a concert during the jazz festival. I put together the expenses, I found a venue, I talked to the artists. It was going to cost me about $10,000 or $15,000. And at the last moment, I balked. I didn't do it. The risk was too high for me. But it really bothered me because I was like, this was going to be a great event. The artists would have enjoyed it. The audience would have enjoyed it. I just wasn't able to do it because I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the funds to risk. And a few weeks later, it occurred to me, why couldn't I involve the audience? Why couldn't I say, if we can sell 500 tickets, then we will have the event. If we can't, then we won't. And use the internet to do this. And have people put their credit cards down, and we would take the credit card information. And if enough people decided they wanted to buy tickets, we would charge everybody. And if they didn't, then we would charge nobody, and the event wouldn't happen. So it would be completely conditional. There'd be no harm, no foul. Let the audience decide, instead of me or a small room of people, of gatekeepers, to make those decisions. And this is why ideas don't get funded, because of gatekeepers. And it's not because gatekeepers are necessarily bad. It's because gatekeepers have limited resources. They have limited capacity to hear about new ideas, and they also have different agendas from the people who have the ideas. People who have the ideas generally want to bring their ideas to life, and the people that are the gatekeepers with the money, they may need to make a profit. They may need to only be able to do 3 or 4 ideas a year, and these things are usually not compatible to get the majority of ideas out there. This is a bit of the homepage of the site. So there's about 3,500 to 4,000 projects funding on the site at any one time. You can go to the site later on today, and you can browse around and see things, mostly from the United States, but a few projects coming in from other countries as well. And these are what, as Osama said, these are creative projects. Film, music, art, but a broad definition of creativity. So we have design, we have projects in the world of food, we have projects in the world of technology, journalism, and these are being funded by the audience, by people like you and me, by friends of the creators, by fans of some of the creators, and these funds that people are giving through the website, these are not investment. People get no return. You could fund one of the albums could become the #1 album in the country. You will not get any financial return. You may get a copy of the album, you may get to go to a private concert, you get experiences, you get limited editions, you get to be a part of the work, but you do not get a financial return. And this changes your relationship with the thing you are funding. You are funding it like a patron. You are not funding it like somebody who's looking at it and saying, we should get rid of this song, it's not going to be popular, or you should make this better, because you're letting the artist or the creative person bring their idea to fruition outside of the constraints of needing to bring financial returns. So, as I said, we launched in April 2009. About 2 or 3 weeks after we launched, there was a project by this young woman, Allison Weiss, from Georgia. She was a college student. She had released a few albums on her own before. She produced everything herself. She sung by herself. She played the guitar. We had no idea who she was. Our site, like YouTube or Facebook, people go on the web by themselves, and they create their projects, and they launch them by themselves. We had no relationship with her at all. We woke up one morning, we checked out the site, see if there's any new projects, and Allison's was up. I'd like to share with you the video she uploaded to basically pitch her project to her friends, to her fans, and then the internet community at large.
Hello Internet, my name is Allison Weiss. You may know me from the internet, or from real life. I'm coming to you today because I need your help. I'm recording a new EP in June, and it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be good. You'll probably like it. It's going to be released in the fall, and it's going to be on a digipack, much like my last CD that you see right here. Eco-friendly. I don't know if you know this about me, but I do everything all by myself. I don't have a label or a manager or any of that stuff. So I'm trying to raise $2,000 to press the first 1,000 copies. If you donate, not only are you going to help me out a lot, but you're going to get cool things like exclusive tracks and pre-releases and like limited edition stuff. But we'll talk about that later. So here are some reasons why you should donate to my new EP. Reason number 1, we are friends. It's pretty obvious. Reason number 2, you like me. I am assuming. If not, you should probably just turn off the video now. Reason number 3, I promise it won't suck. Now, some of you might disagree when it comes out, but I don't think that you will. Reason number 4, you can be part of a great thing. And that is making my new EP. And number 5, the best reason of all to donate is you're gonna get cool stuff. So, what do I mean by cool stuff? Well, let's talk about it. Here's how it's gonna work. This website, Kickstarter.com, is allowing me to take donations from people, and nobody gets charged unless I raise that amount of money by a certain date. $1 or more, you're gonna get exclusive updates on this whole process and like videos that no one else is gonna get and all that kind of stuff. $5 or more, I'll put your name and your link to whatever website you have, or your Twitter or your Facebook. I'll link to you from my website. If you donate $10, you're gonna get an exclusive track emailed to you when the album comes out. If you donate $30, you're going to get a digital copy of the album a week before it comes out. If you donate $40, you're going to get a physical copy of the album before it comes out, all like signed and like pretty and beautiful. If you donate $50, I will put your name inside the liner notes of the CD. If you donate $100, you will get a limited edition button sticker and t-shirt. If you donate $300, nobody's going to do this, but if you donate $300, I will make you a personal mixtape of any 5 of my songs that you want. I'll play them acoustic just for you, put it on a mixtape, hand color the cover, put your name on it, and mail that to you. Personal, one-of-a-kind thing. If you donate $500, I will write a song about whatever you want me to write a song about. Anything. It could be about you, it could be about your boyfriend or girlfriend, it could be about marshmallows and unicorns riding together in a beautiful world made of orange juice and airplanes. If you donate $1,000, I will play that song about unicorns and marshmallows on YouTube, and I will sing it. I will play it and I'll sing it, and I will kiss a photograph of you, and I will tell the whole world how wonderful you are. And if you donate $2,500, I will come to your town and I will play a special, intimate, acoustic show in your honor, and it will be awesome. But I don't think anyone's going to do that. But I just put it there because, hey, why not? One of you might be crazy.
So we were blown away when we saw this because Allison knew exactly what the spirit of what we were trying to accomplish was, and she was really passionate about her music, and she was willing to make a video in her kitchen and share it with her friends and have them try to share it with the world. And if you don't mind, I would just ask with a quick show of hands, how many people would give just a few dollars to Allison after watching this video? Thank you. So the amazing thing about this is we have not heard any music. But what we've seen is her passion. We've seen her energy for what she wants to do, and she's asking us for something relatively small. Not to invest in her, not to be her major patron, not to support her career forever, but just a little bit of help to make this one album and to follow along in the experience. So there's a history to this, of course. And we found out in doing research that Mozart, Beethoven, artists in the past had gone out to the audience before. And people were called subscribers. And they would get relatively small amounts before they were able to have the first concerto, before the first edition was published. And the names of these subscribers would be put in the first edition sometimes, or they would be the first ones to be able to attend the concerts. So there's a long history of this, and what we're trying to do is bring this concept of distributed fundraising to the web. $25 is the median amount, the most common pledge on the site, from one person to one project. You can also give just $1 to any project. It's all of your own choosing. And dealing with small amounts is what makes this disruptive. By people giving an average of $25 or even a few dollars, what is allowed to happen is that people don't need to get financial returns. So if you're investing thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, you often need to get financial returns. You need to get your money back, or you may need to, you're speculating for a large profit. And so you judge projects differently. You look at something and you say, what is the market going to think about this? What is my possible return? What is my risk? Because you're dealing with larger amounts that have real value to you. When you're dealing with few dollars, you don't have to think about those things. You can think about, do I like this person? Do I like this idea? Would I like to get some stickers? Would I like to get the album? Would I like to follow the story? So when we remove the need to get financial returns, all of the ideas that do not have a lot of market-driven opportunities can come back in. And really that means a lot of art and a lot of things that are kind of avant-garde and a lot of things that are really pushing new concepts now have an opportunity to be supported. So this is a chart, which I won't make you read, I promise, but basically this just illustrates the funds that came into Allison's project. And that first dot on the far left is right above the green line. The green line is the $2,000 that Allison wanted to reach in 60 days. She got it within the first day because her personality just shone through and people were sharing the link to her project on the internet. And within one day she reached her goal. And by the end of 60 days, she reached almost 4 times her goal, which really illustrates how people felt about this, that they didn't just want to give her the money that she needed to make her album. People were giving money beyond the point that of the amount she needed because they wanted to participate. They were getting value themselves. They weren't viewing this as a charity. They were viewing this as something of an equal exchange. So they helped her get almost 4 times the amount. And so these are some quick numbers about what we've been able to do since we launched in April 2009. There's been about $150 million pledged to 17,000 projects that have been successfully funded in the last 2.5 years. We've had 1.4 million people from around the world pledge to those projects. Film and video, $50 million, $30 million in music, design, art, publishing, technology, theater, games, food, photography, dance, and comic books. And so this is kind of the broad spectrum of what we consider and service as creative projects. So like I said, there's about 3,500 to 4,000 projects on the site at any one time. So you can go on and see. These are all projects from people like Allison that have uploaded these in their own homes, either by themselves or with their band or with their partners. And they're going out to their communities to raise money. But people are also starting to come to the site in the past year and a half to look for projects that are really interesting. Not just to give money, but to also be inspired or to see new ideas or to learn from other people that are working in their field about how they do things. So the site is not just about funding, but also about joining the community of each project or just going and watching videos and reading about the updates of the process that people who are creating things are going through. I wanted to share a project that was from the region. So yesterday I was going through things in the area and I noticed there's this one project, 18 Days in Egypt, which is still funding. I think there's about a week to go. They're trying to raise $18,000 and they're very close to their goal. This is a project based in Cairo where they're trying to build a website where they can aggregate a lot of the content that people were using their phones, handheld cameras to document the revolution and try to get as many of those videos and photos as possible onto an interactive website that they could share with the world. We'll take a pause. So I wanted to share one more quick project. This is a project that launched last week. And if you could see, the second number is $1.3 million. So this is where we've gone to now. Allison raised $6,000 or $7,000. She was looking for $2 million. And these guys launched last Wednesday. By Thursday, they'd raised $1 million. In one day, they raised $1 million. This is to make a video game. Okay, this guy, Double Fine is the name of an independent video game studio in the United States. The developers were very well known in the video game community. They wanted to make a game, and none of the publishers would give them the money to make the game. They said, nobody wants to buy this game. So they put it on our site, and 35,000 people said, we want to buy this game, and gave them $1 million in one day. We only had one other project that had ever raised $1 million before. It took 60 days. So these order of magnitude leaps that are happening on the web. This was just one example of it. It blew our minds. I mean, we had no idea what was going on. I want to share one final concept with you. This is the traditional form of creation, the arc. Somebody has a concept, they share it with a small group of collaborators, and then they go into this long build phase, usually in a vacuum. You know, some people may know about it, they may have to deal with people at their company, investors, collaborators, their record label, whatever that is. But it is generally a small group of people that are involved in the process, and the artist or the innovator is working in this vacuum for a long period of time, and then one day they're done, hopefully, and then they release it to the world, and they hope that the audience will be excited by it. But they really don't know. They've had some feedback, maybe they've had some market studies, maybe their friends have told them some things, but they're working in a vacuum. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to change this model, which is you have your idea, you share with your collaborators, you get it to a certain point where you're excited about it and ready to share it, and then you bring it to an audience. You bring it to your friends, your fans, the public, through a platform like Kickstarter, and you try to help them, you try to get them to help join in the funding of your project, and also to watch your project as you're growing it. So you can involve them in, you can give them updates, hey, this week this happened, this was interesting, this didn't work so well. And so when you're done with the build cycle, you already have this audience that cares about your project. And they care about it in a very different way than a consumer cares about it. They care about it as a person who helped you make it. And they share your story and the story of your project in a way that is their story. And it's a very different relationship when you pull back the veil and when you let people see how things are created. Allison had 205 backers for her project. So by the time her album was ready and her album came out, she had 205 people who felt this way, that they had helped her make this album. And they're going to listen to her album very differently, and they're going to tell their friends about Allison and her music in a very, very different way than anybody else will. You know, I know we all know about these websites. You know, working on the web every day, especially on the consumer web, especially in a for-profit space, because we are a for-profit company, you hear about all the new ideas and all the new social networks, all the new companies that are helping get local deals and things like that. But I really think there are 3 websites right now that are kind of transcending all of that. You know, these are all for-profit websites. YouTube is a property of Google. But they're enabling communication in a massive scale, and they're enabling democracy in a massive scale. And so these are the examples I try to follow. We do not have any advertising on the site. All of these sites are built on advertising. That's not the part of the model that I'm really interested in. It is just the fact that these tools are enabling, to me, is the most transcendent thing that is going on in technology right now. And so what I hope for us is that we can play a small but growing role in what these companies are doing. And as I said before, we're mostly in the United States right now. We're working very hard in the next few years to grow out. And obviously I hope one day to serve Libya and the region. Thank you very much.